Welcome back to an episode of We are in front of the dungeon in the Grinning one. It's right here in Kargai Crags. That's the thingy that we're gonna get. It's the wind shear with 7% full restore. Pretty interesting, but we may not need it at all. Anyway, the Grinning Labyrinth, that's what it's called. And just as a nice thing, I did a little bit of a change in the build because I was looking into different aspects, and I placed the companion, well, the core skill bonus depending on companions on the weapon itself, because this one is for each companion, and because I have an awful lot of companions, that means an awful lot of damage, which is amazing. And then I also changed something else, which is also very convenient. I changed... Actually, it's just one thing that I really changed. I switched from Earthen Might to Nature's Fury, because something very interesting happens with Nature's Fury. This one has no lucky hit or anything. Like, this one is always active. I almost thought about, yeah, maybe I should get this one, but this one right here has a very interesting property. And Nature's Fury has a 30% chance of, see that? Of using, or of casting another ability of the earth variety. See? Well, 30%, so every third attack basically. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and okay. Like 30% are actually a very, there we go. There's another one. And another one. Like 30% are actually very little, it seems. It's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But anyway, the key idea here is to have this as a basic skill and cast it all the time. And then you have another basic skill that gets triggered because the same kind of skill just gets triggered. In this case, the Earth Spike, that's what it is. So if you use like Wind Shear, it uses Earth Spike. But if you were, for example, to use Earth Strike instead, so let's just go and instead of the Tornado, we're gonna place in here this thing right there. And by the way, also Tornado triggers something else, and Hurricane sometimes triggers the Boulder, which is fascinating. But anyway, we can basically do this all the time. I can flip-flop between the skills, and sometimes, see, there's a wind shear coming out of it, which is actually quite cool. So, and the big question is, why don't we trigger lightning for this? That is actually the thing. Anyway, it doesn't always trigger it, of course, so it doesn't really matter which one. There's just one real question that I have, and it is, what about bonus effects, and also what about the power of the skill? Does it trigger... Because sometimes this one here gets triggered, right? Because depending on which one you start with, it triggers the other one. So if you use Tornado, it triggers the Earth skill, but we only have one Earth skill right here. So, but two Storm skills, right? So if you use, for example, the Landslide, then it triggers the Lightning Storm most of the time, which is really weird. Or maybe it was just a very messy kind of situation. But the nice thing about it is, this is a nice way to cheap out on spirit cost, right? Because you get, like this one here, for free, like 30 spirit, and this one costs 40. Those two are just there to charge up your spirit faster. That's the actual idea behind it. And because I need just something that increases the spirit extremely quickly, so that I can spam the Tornado all the time. That is the key process behind that build. Because everything in my build right now is improving the core. Like this one here was previously on the main weapon. This is just the 20%, also maxed out. But yeah, on the weapon it would also be 20. But it would be 40 because it doubles, right? But this one right here gets multiplied by 9 because we have 9 companions, which is amazing. Like, yeah, 4 ravens, 3 of those, right? 3 wolves and 2 of these poison creepers. And that is just absolutely amazing. Anyway, and then I also switched the earthen thingy with this right here. Like every time we use basic attacks and we hit enemies with it, it increases the next core skill, right? So that means if we charge up our spirit, we basically get tornado afterwards. And because it is dependent on the basic skill, and we use multiple basic skills sometimes, we get more charge with this. So I don't have like a high value for that one, for example, because it's just 5%, which is very, very low. And that's just the really, 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 really nice thing about it. We don't use the earth skills to deal damage. Like we don't really depend on them. Well, we only depend on the fact that they make spirit, right? And then they just trigger the tornado. The only thing that is somewhat weird is I have no idea if the tornado actually gets better after the bonus here, like the next core skill, right? It could be the tornado, but it could also be the landslide thingy. That is just the question. Which one of the two gets better? And is it that the wind shear triggers the earth spike afterwards or before, right? I don't really think it's before, like that would be kind of weird. So we always end up with the tornado thingy. And on another note, I made it so that no matter what, we always hit a little bit with a tornado. And in situations with like a lot of monsters also, we at least hit 2. So that's the amulet right there. And then I also had the previous one with the armor on it, like this is just for safekeeping. If I need like bonus armor because I take far too much damage or whatever, then I'm just gonna take that one, because look at that. Right now we take an awful lot of this. By the way, why am I actually regenerating? That's kind of strange. Or was it because of the fortify? No. Something did regenerate myself. I don't know if it was the potion or not. Whatever. Let's just... Oh! No, the Grinning Labyrinth is something new. That's pretty cool. Definitely cool. Ooh, and we got another legendary again. Perfect. Also, I noticed that something like a quality of life thing in Diablo is that if you forgot to pick up a legendary item, it will be put into your stash, which means we do not even need to go back and pick up legendary items if we were the ones that picked them up, which is absolutely gorgeous. So, let's do the tornado. There you go. Like with this change of build, I kind of think at least that we are dealing tons of damage. I have no idea if that's true or not. It's just like, yeah, I have no idea if we actually do more damage. I really have to test it, because it's just bonus effects again. There we go. And skill steal, that's the one that I got maxed out, but this one is just 9%, also fairly helpful. Ah, just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, we just use one tornado. Oh, that is just so sweet. So sweet. 2 charges. And our spirit is full. And, of course, I moved the... Yeah, this is the one that scales on the primary resource. We just need to have an awful lot of primary resource. That's just the thing to keep in mind. Like, look at how quickly we can shred this stuff. That's amazing. The only thing that I would need now is just a better weapon. And then I could... actually, this one isn't printed, but... I can just get some gloves or something. Like, gloves are the offensive armor, in a way. Or maybe I could take some... Yeah, which item is offensive enough? That would also work. And by the way, I, just by sheer accident, while testing the build out, I managed to get a totem with an aspect on it. And the aspect was an offensive one. So totems act as a weapon. For intents and purposes. So it's not a shield, it's a weapon. So if you want to boost like your weapon, for example, then do that. I would rather say get a very, very good aspect with like high scaling and make it scale twice as well, right? With a two-handed weapon instead of having like two one-handed weapons. With one exception, right? I kind of had a nice idea about another build that I also kind of want to play as, and it's actually an even simpler build, because that build will not depend on it will not depend on core skills. It will only depend on basic skills and on the fact that we increase the spirit, therefore we max it out, and then we use double the amount, of course, on the weapon. The other way would also be to have like a higher attack speed, right? The one that I previously had on the gloves, and we could also double that. And then if you have like two weapons, they tend to have like 1.1 attack speed, and this 1.1 would be extremely quick. And if you have extremely quick attacks, right, that means that abilities that can be cast all the time, therefore anything that has no cooldown, and anything that has no cooldown means basic attacks, right? You don't need to wait, and you don't need to do charge up your resource for that, or however it would work. So the basic skill build is dependent on attack speed and using multiple basic skills. Maybe even Nature's Fury, right? To trigger multiple basic attacks constantly. That is just so cool. And one other thing that you can do is just get the bonus perks for the basic attacks, and then you're golden. That is just absolutely amazing. Just one of those is enough. It's just absolutely great. I love that build. I love it so much. It's amazing. It makes things so much nicer. Ooh, 3,000. 3,000. 3,000 we get. Wind Strike. And another one again. I don't know. Sometimes I deal like 8,000 damage or whatever, but that kind of depends. The whole thing is just somewhat dependent on the amulet, which for me at the moment was the defensive thing, because of its additional 50% scaling. But in the future, maybe I'm gonna place it on the helmet. But I was also looking into legendary items for the druid, and there was actually a nice headpiece that changes your, what was it? Your wind spells into werewolf spells or something. And that could help us with additional scaling and so on. Or was it like werewolf skills into wind skills? Nah, something like that. It's definitely a very, very nifty kind of thing. Come on, pick it up. There you go. Haven't seen the boulder yet. But yeah, one thing that you can do is like get an item that turns the boulder into a no, not a RAF skill, a core skill that costs an awful lot of spirit. But if we don't trigger it, right, we just use it accidentally, if you use the tornadoes, and that is just so amazing. I should use far more tornadoes, just in case. Like, if you know how to increase the scaling dramatically, then and what values to choose, this game becomes absolutely easy. And the way to improve the damage, like by multitudes, right, is by quite literally multiplying stuff. And in order to multiply it, right, or to figure out how what can be multiplied, what you just need to do is look at the descriptions of your items. This one, for example, after the 20% has a little X. That means it gets multiplied. That one here, that was not the one. That one here also has a little X after the percentage, which means it gets multiplied. And this is just there for me to always target an enemy so that attacks don't just go into emptiness. And maybe even hit an enemy. I don't know if they hit them twice or not, but at least the tornado can be useful a little bit longer, right? So we get even more damage out of it. And then this one right here also improves the core skills by, again, a multiplied percentage, which means even more. And by multiplying all of that together, we end up with a value of like 3-fold higher than the usual skills, which is just absurd. Absolutely absurd. And then there's also this other bonus that we do in terms of damage. I think it was this one, right? No, this is just ignoring incoming direct damage. But there's also something that would increase your damage if you have like a barrier active or so. But there's definitely something else going on the headpiece. I may not even need the barrier for that. Righty. Did I finish that? No, I didn't. We have to get into the Grinning Chamber now. With a little bit of luck, I can even make this artillery shrine work a bit longer. But okay. Let's see. We don't need them totems. What about this one? And this is also another thing that I wanted to test out. The nice thing is it has a very high value, so yes, we can definitely utilize it. The nice thing about this is... Oh, it also has thorns. Ooh, that is good. I love it. Okay. Anyway, the nice thing about this is it is also a flip-flop kind of spell. Flip-flop kind of aspect, meaning that it benefits the Storm Earth change really well. Like if you switch from, let's say, a storm skill to an earth skill to a storm skill and so on and so forth, you get the most out of this, because you can, or actually if you have like a let's say if you have a storm skill or an earth skill, but you only sometimes use the other, you still get the bonuses for it, and you get higher critical damage and higher critical chance. And that is just absolutely amazing. And this one, for example, would be also extremely good if you were to use this on the weapon itself. Let's say you don't have any companions, which I don't know why, but you would end up with 120%. It's crit strike bonus, but you still have to get the chance up, right? But the chance also improves by like twice as much. So we end up with the bonus 30%, which is just absurd. 30% higher. That means like every second hit is a crit. And then they crit and they deal even more damage. That is just so sweet. But yeah, I could actually try this out. Do I have... No, I don't have any skulls on me, so that's not good. Werewolf skills function as... there we go. Werewolf skills function as storm skills, and werebear skills function as earth skills for the Nature's Fury key passive. This right here also benefits from the Nature's Fury key passive. The problem is, this is for the shapeshifter. So if you were to use werewolf skills, they work as like storm ones. Now the big question is, how could we make other skills werewolf skills? But this was one of those things that I actually wanted to keep. So let's move that one over here. That's also something that I want to keep. That's definitely something that I want to keep. I want to test this out now. gain so and so much of your primary resource for every 25% of your life that you heal. And this is new. Okay, that's pretty cool. So and so much percent of your life that you heal. Now the big question is, how do we heal? So you definitely need some kind of heal method to make that work, but it's definitely doable, which is amazing. So I wanted to use that. The problem is my armor will go down, and all of the rest. It's not quite nice. What about the switch though? 49. But okay. We don't have Seeking Tornadoes now. But what we do have is oh. So, but what we do have is buffs. Amazing amount of buffs. Storm skills have like crit and whatnot. I just need to use wind shear, right? And now I have like 2 thingies in here, and I can just crit all the time. That is just amazing. It basically means once I have the 30% charge up for that, I can just do this. And the damage comes sinking in. Only problem is with the Nature's Fury and all of that nonsense, it kind of got rid of the 100% crit chance of the Urban Might thing. Alright. And there we have another one done. My inventory is getting littered with legendary items, which is weird. What do we have this time? When hit while not healthy, a magical bubble is summoned around you for so many seconds while standing inside the bubble. This was one of those nice things that I kind of liked about it. I like these extremely defensive ones. The problem is it's not a barrier, and the barrier does like other stuff. Becoming injured. Crowd control grants you this. When hit while not healthy, which is less than 80%. Yeah, it's also some nice safeguard kind of thing. Nice thing is, same thing for the wolves and so on, but it doesn't have that much armor, so we could try to get... Yeah, we could try to definitely get rid of this. So the rest can go away. Let's just go back to Cat Badu, do a little bit of inventory management. I was talking about the build most of the time, which is a bit, I don't know, maybe too glorifying for it, but I have to say the way that it interacts and triggers additional bonuses and so on, that's just awesome. So, would you like something appraised? Yeah, let's just get rid of all of this stuff. And what am I gonna do with all of those amulets right now? I do need a... what am I gonna do with this one though? I kind of like it, but I'm definitely gonna get rid of the ring. It's not good enough. My eyes can only watch so much. So that one right here. Oh, for the looks, that's nice. Fight hard, eh? Mm-hmm. Devil's pay. So yeah, what is this one? A one-handed axe, which is actually kind of interesting. Sadly, it's not higher than like 625, which is our threshold. We can't get any items that are better because we are already at the ceiling for this world tier. Definitely not nice. So yeah, werewolf, werebear, whatever. The function is that one. Oh no! Wait a minute. We're going to extract that. There we go. Offensive one. Core stuff, extract, absolutely. And resource gain, you can also just extract here. Then I do definitely need... The big question is, do I want to deal more damage with a tornado, with a higher crit chance and so on? Because of this, right? Do I want to be... do I just want to survive? That is just so weird. 17, 3. That's just so weird. Do I want to deal more damage? because this will absolutely make me deal absolute high amounts of damage. Do I want to have safe targeting, or do I want to survive? That's the question. If I... Actually, if you think about it, we already deal enough damage. What? Wait a minute, that was not what I wanted. There we go. So, I just make something very, very simple of an assessment. Let's just move all of this over here. There you go. And this was the totem, by the way, that I was talking about, with the Grizzly Rage and so on. Only problem, we don't play with shapeshifting skills. Shapeshifting is... I actually played as the Druid the first time I... or was it the Sorcerer? Actually, I don't quite remember. Diablo 2, once I got to play the game. Very, very long time ago. But my still favorite class is the Druid. And the first time I played it, I was a... not a companion user, but I was a shapeshifter. And that was amazing. I just loved that. I had no idea how the game worked. I just loved to spam the skills, and I cheated all the time. That's basically how I got into gaming. Cheating. Putting little codes in there, getting your bonus armor or whatever. That was just nice. Like, back in the day, you could do that and without anyone actually caring that much, because it was local gameplay anyway. It made like gaming much more approachable, if you think about it. If you want to play a game like this today, you have to know what you are doing, and you can't just play as if it was like a playground or something. You can't really test things out. Anyway, actually took a little while until I kind of stopped cheating and whatnot. Which is really, really weird. And not because like I actually tested an awful lot out, like GTA cheats, whatever. The nice thing was like summoning a tank and then using the turret backwards in order to increase your speed. Like, this was so stupid, but it worked. Physics 101, right?
My soul. Please, take it back from them.
Yeah.
Let it in.
There you go. Thing is, our companions don't deal that much more damage now, because all of our bonuses are core skill dependent, which is something that I don't quite like. I mean, overall we still deal more damage because our skills that we use a lot. Come on, die. There you go. Alright, anyway, the skills that we use a lot are the ones that are of the air or like storm variety. So that's okay. Dude.
Such power.
Ooh. Fuck itself. There you go. And another lid. Okay. For some reason, I'm getting littered with legendaries. I don't know why. When you are struck as a werebear, you have a 40% chance to gain 1 spirit, which is amazing. This right here is also a nice way to passively get an awful lot amount of spirit. That ring is amazing. The rest is something that we may not even need at all. Yeah. So, now where do we go? We go backwards, of course. So if you want to deal very high amounts of damage with single abilities, you should focus on two-handed weapons. If you are more of a damage over time or damage over multiple attacks, let's say, kind of person, then oh, Scourge of the Land will die. Boom, 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 boom. And I got rid of the amulet, which was definitely a stupid idea. But I have to say, what about my armor? 67. There we go. Also, a nice side effect of Nature's Fury is that because you use two abilities at the same time, basically, and we got the aspect of Calm Breeze, nice. Anyway, because you use two abilities at the same time, in a way, you also get the benefits of having additional effects happen at the same time. So you don't need to use one ability, then the next, they overlap, and both abilities become usable. So this one, for example, gets a stun. Sometimes, not all the time, of course. This one also fortifies if you were to use it, or it summons a second Earth Spike. The only question is, does the second Earth Spike also generate the spirit, right? Or does it just do the damage? That's just something I'm questioning myself right now. Anyway, like, if you were to use like werewolf skills or like more skills in here, you could shred so much. And then there's like there was something right here that benefits from, there we go, this one right here. When shape-shifting skills transform you into a different form, right, which would basically trigger with Nature's Fury, right, all the time, it deals 15% more damage all the time, right? Shape-shifting fortifies you for so much, which would also always happen. And upon shape-shifting into werewolf or werebear, gain damage reduction against elites for 5 seconds. And this would also always happen. So this thing here, together with the Nature's Fury, is amazing. Maybe you could also benefit from this one right here. But Bestial Rampage, by the way, is also one of those key passives that would increase the damage of companions, especially the wolves. There's another aspect in here that makes the wolves be better or be buffed up by the Bestial Rampage. Only thing is you have to shapeshift yourself in order to trigger that. But what I'm actually looking for is an upgrade for the wolves that turns them into lightning creatures, or something that turns them into werewolves or something like that. There's definitely something there. I just have no clue where to get that. I don't know if it was a unique item or if it was just some kind of rare-ish aspect that I'm too stupid to find. I just have a rough knowledge of all of the aspects that can be there. But then, of course, the game kind of limits what I can find. Alright. So, did I actually explore the area down there? I don't know. Let's just do this real quick. And then we can also explore the other two, actually. Or was it 3, 4? 2, yeah. The other two Lilith statues in this area. By the way, how many Lilith statues I got? 14. Okay, no. We are not here to mess with all of these small minions. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I have an aspect in my inventory that lets the Poison Creeper trigger Landslide. This is the thing, like, if you want to play Earth Druid, you kind of get all of the cool stuff. If you want to play a Storm, well, you are kind of a caster, right? You do have melee Storm and you have, like, long-range Storm, but you, I don't know, it kind of feels as if all of the cool interactions you don't really get. Because I've seen, with one exception actually, the Hurricane skill. The Hurricane skill is the skill that gets the most love here. It's the only one. It's like Landslide, basically. There's one skill that seems to get more than just one, maybe even more than two upgrades or like bonuses from aspects. Different bonuses, of course. So one of them definitely is the Hurricane, right? Like there was a something that increases the Hurricane's damage depending on how long it has been active. Don't know where it was. Anyway, could be anywhere. Oh, there. And this is also something interesting. Attack speed increases with core skills. Well, that could benefit the basic thingy a little bit. So I could use this on the offhand to increase the attack speed, and then I could use the other one on it. No, wait a minute, that wouldn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Because I don't get two bonus effects for this. But anyway. So, let's get out of here. So... But yeah, the Hurricane increases its damage depending on how long it is active, right? And then there's also a skill that you can upgrade that increases the time for Hurricane to stay active by so and so many seconds. I think it's like 15% or so. I don't know if there's like a an aspect that would also increase the time for this. But it definitely has a nice synergy, meaning that the longer the Hurricane stays active, the more bonus damage it can do, right? But the thing is, it does, I think, max out at a point. Depending on the way it is written. I have to check that out in the stash. Don't really know. Because sometimes it's a to the max increase, like this one, for example. Yeah, skill steal up to, meaning there's a ceiling for the increase of damage that we can get. We can never get more than 20% increased or like more damage. Let's call it more because that's max. And we use Path of Exile speech for this. If you use the same speech, like people know how that works. It's multiplicative. Anyhow. So it just increases until it hits the ceiling and then nothing else happens. Which is a wee bit iffy. But it makes it easier to calculate all of that. So, there's of course more of this. I'll set you with bonus strength. Is that maybe the hidden statue? Say no to the statue. Could that be the one?
No.
I don't know where. Like there wasn't there some statue where you had to say no? I don't know where it was.
No.
Or maybe it's still all about the statue in this temple area. No, it wasn't here. What was that? Here. That was the one in the Dire Flats. Somewhere in here. Was it? No, it wasn't the Dire Flats. Jesus, what was that? There is a territory in here where you can't. There we go. What was that? No, that's not it. There is a territory somewhere with like a little bit of part of the road not being available because there's some kind of blood wall there also, like just something strange. Was that down here somewhere? Boy, I can't really remember what it was. You're gonna be kidding me. Or was it down here? No, it was down here. Or was it even further down? No. Also wasn't. Ah, there. That's the one. There's some kind of wall there, and there's also another Lilith statue right here. That could be the one that's hidden. So, now the big question is just where on earth is it? So, was that the last one, by the way? It could have been. Nope. It's not it. Not yet. I have to get a little bit further around here. I just really miss out. Yeah, miss the damage of the companion skill. I don't just want to have one skill that does all of the damage. I want to have a build that does all of the damage. The whole variety of skills should be there to get buffed. But we do use it as a nice synergy. The companion skills are just there to buff yourself, to increase all of my damage, and to also be somewhat useful. Oh yeah, 13,000 damage. Isn't that great? Oh. I actually don't know where I get all of this 45 from. It can be that the secondary skill that you trigger is completely maxed out. That's something that I am not quite sure, actually. Let's just... Look at this. My life is all... Ah, this... Yeah. Now I know why I regenerated. I stood right next to the dude arena. That's the thing that happens here, usually. And there's a little bit of 45, but I think it was just the... Yeah. It's just the wolves triggering the thing. It may not be the earth skill. The earth strike. No, not strike. Spike. That triggers it. Wait. Did I miss something up here? Maybe it's one of those it drops somewhere in the area kind of missions. So, come on, let's get the last one. Ooh. And while I'm at it, yeah, this seems to be the only actual quest in the area. Strange, strange, strange. The Onyx Watchtower. Oh. This is not the stronghold. It's next to the stronghold. I wanted to go up here though. Do you also have a problem following GPS sometimes? Especially if you want to turn and you kind of use the... and you kind of turn like one crossing earlier than expected because for some reason you just have a different kind of idea of distance. Or is it just me? That's just so weird. So, let's just charge through, get the last Lilith statue. Aha. There we go. And we got the dry steps and bonus from now on. Amazing. And Bastard's Pass got us another Lilith one. Sweetie. So, let's go back, get rid of some items, and then we can do the side mission. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a big question. Should we do the stronghold or should we do the side mission, right? If we do the stronghold, we do unlock a teleporter. If we do the side mission, we may have to backtrack again. So that's that. Let's see. No, wait a minute. This one I want to keep because it has such a nice bonus. The other stuff I could sell. Or I could turn into resources just to prepare myself. But I may just get... Yeah, let's just sell all of that. We don't need it.
Goodbye then.
So, we do need the gold sometimes. It's actually not that much gold. So, let's do this, do this, do this. Oh, wait. What about... 17. Okay, so we haven't gotten another one of those spikes yet. Sometimes the prisms drop and sometimes they don't. I don't know what triggers them. Because sometimes it triggers them and I don't know why. That is just so weird. Righty now. Yeah, let's do the stronghold. And claim. Nice. So, how do we get in there? We have to go all the way back again. It could also be that this mission is the stronghold. Because it's right there. But yeah. I'll just be on the safe side. And you get a little bit of bonus damage from me, because I'm such a nice person. Nice. Okay, where do we spend the point? Okay. Let's use it to spam. Therefore we deal no damage with it. So... let's go in front of our little stronghold. And then we can end the episode. Which means we're going to end it right now. Until next time then, like and subscribe and...
Goodbye.
ta-ta!